so this one fired up already. I'm just going to turn it up a little bit. Okay. And we're gonna move these engines out, the U34s out, swap them around to make a double consist, and then we're gonna try to run the Asa Packer and the Morristown Aries, and try to
Awesome.
get everything cleared out and running properly. So it might take a little time to get everything lashed up, but M&E is ready, Asa Pack is ready. Only train I gotta do now is the Bluebird. All right. We are all set.
Let me just go see if I can hook up some of my stuff too.
Okay, you got it. There we go. Stop having two loud shots. Now we're gonna spin them around. Turn that one off.
So far, I always see like at least maybe one or two people watching us so far. So we could just go ahead and hang out for a little bit until we get more people watching us.
Let's turn this one down. It's super loud. This engine is so loud I can barely hear it half the time. Alright, let's turn it around. Alright, we're gonna shut that one down. We're gonna run it. And
Dispatcher, we're ready. Don't get involved. Over.
truck roll.
You still doing all right?
Yeah, it just sorted out something right quick. The train came off, so I had to put it back on the track.
It happens to all of us.
Yep, it's annoying, and it always happens when you start running the layout for a live or company.
You got that right.
Get it to come back on. There we go.
Dylan, close up. We're ready to go.
It's MTH. One thing I don't like about MTH is that it's so finicky when it comes to signal. It's very finicky. There it is. It sucks. Like if you don't have a good signal connection, it'll stop anywhere and not pick up a remote signal. It was done at my Wi-Fi. It does that with the remote. I was gonna get the $400 remote set. I really want to do that anyway, but it's just like, man, if this thing and the Wi-Fi is doing the same thing, I don't know. Maybe I have to check on my track connection. Who knows?
I also just had a funny experience with one of my MTH locomotives too this week.
Who's that?
I also had like a very funny experience with one of my MTH locomotives this week too, where when I activated the PFA passengers, whatchamacallit, the passenger freight announcement on my 4014 Union Pacific Big Boy, as the locomotive was idling, I went ahead to adjust the volume, and all of a sudden, as the sound effects were playing, the engine started moving. I'm like, what the heck is going on here?
Yep, that I've had that issue with this one too, and it'll move and then it'll get stuck and then you can't stop it and replay the sounds for some reason. It won't keep going through the sequence. I don't know why. So then you got to redo everything all over again, which is a headache because then if you're filming and you want to do the PFA, sometimes it'll do that and then you got to redo the film and it just becomes a headache. So
Oh yeah.
that's the one thing I do kind of like hate about the MTH thing, and then the Lionel, the new thing with the Lionel, the Bluetooth. I don't know if it's my basement or my track wiring. I still working on it. Maybe my track wiring. Who knows? The Bluetooth signal sometimes cuts out, so it will stop at a certain part of the track, and then it'll start blinking the cab light, and that's how I'm like, all right, just lost signal.
Oh yeah, I've actually had that happen to my Texas Special too.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, because it has the Bluetooth as well. It's a Lion Chief, correct?
It's actually a mixture between Lion Chief and
And
Legacy.
Plus, it's the Plus model. Yeah, those are really good. It's crazy because the boards for the Plus models is the same price as the Legacy boards as well. So it's kind of like a bit of a headache dealing with them. Let's see. There we go. My track, like, if I roll too slow, sometimes I'll get a dead spot. But that's what, like, mostly any layout. All right. So I'm gonna turn the sound back up. I'm gonna run the Acer Packard and the Morristown Erie, and then we'll try to do a swing by with the NJ Transit, and then that should be pretty much my live stream for the night.
Oh really?
So too bad I didn't have everything set up the way I wanted to. I kind of was slacking out because, like I said, I had a lot of work to do, so I didn't get a chance to do the trees over and everything.
That's okay.
There we go. Now we're working.
DD31 here. My car comes down and I'm waiting on your signal. DD31, you are clear to fault. Over. Roger. We'll take the green.
See if I can do something. There we go. See if that'll help. How you doing tonight? Welcome.
DD31, you are clear to fault.
Hopefully. Uh-oh. There we go. You write that down.
Front of the car. Next stop coming up. Gather all your belongings. Next stop coming up.
All right, let's see if the sound is all the way up on this one. And I can see sound keeps going down. It is up. But all right. Good. All right. Now we should be good to go. Yep. 5, 4, 3.
You doing all right?
Yep, I'm just going to switch the trains from top to bottom. If my MTH will ever communicate, that'll be good. There we go.
Good boy.
All right.
Upstairs. Let's go run some trains.
You are clear to bolt. Roger. I'll take the train.
No, close the gate, close the gate, close the gate.
There we go. had the first derailment ever. This derailment, worst derailment. Alright. We gotta pick her up.
Front of the car. Gather all your belongings. Next stop coming up. Next stop coming up. We're signing off. Out. Full stop. Everything's okay. Out. Thank you. If everything is good, proceed to restricted speed to the next signal before you stand. Over. all ready to go. Get P&B to check that out. Got a warning shot already. Ready to go?
What's up, Mike?
Ready when you are.
Trains. All right. I got to get going now.
Everything all right?
Yeah, I got to get going now because I got to take care of the kids. Yeah,
Oh, you gotta leave?
Yeah. So unfortunately, my layout wasn't running as good as I wanted it to because I haven't been really doing work on it at all. But next time, at least it'll be running a lot better. So I'm gonna start doing work on it. But right now, it's so much going on. I haven't had time to work on the track. So I've been constantly having these derailment issues and switch track derailment issues. So I got to change out that, fix that stuff. This way I don't have that issue doing the live. But that's mainly
That's
the reason
okay.
why I've never done lives. So with the trains running, only because they don't like sometimes you have the derailments and all kind of other stuff. But that's just the way I kind of like put my track together, trying to see how I want to come together. And right now it's just like I want to change out some track. So soon I'll be doing actual track like this. I'll show you that before I get going.
That's okay. I actually have some stuff I gotta get done on my layout too.
Yeah. So this is the track. I know you guys probably see you guys use this all the time. Is the track with the guiders. So instead of me bending the track, because guardrails have the flex track, I just rather just get this type of track. So this is 042, but I'm gonna do 054, I believe. Yep, 054s, and probably bigger than that, just to make sure trains run properly. Because this has been nightmare, my fault, since I pretty much started doing the layout, and it runs really nice when things are in place. So it's like little tiny areas where it's like kinks, and then when I fix it, it's good. But considering it's in the basement, sometimes it seeps back down and moves out of place, and because of moisture and like atmosphere. So it'll run nice, and then I know where like, oh shoot, I gotta change this up. Oh shoot, I gotta put this back, and it becomes a headache. That's one reason why we removed the mountain in the back, because when I put it back there, what happened was I'll run longer trains. Trains with like really long passenger cars, like the Ace Packer or the New Jersey Transit stuff. And for some reason, it would derail. So instead of it just running, nicely through underneath the mountain, it would derail, or trains will be at the top. It'll hit the side of the wall of the mountain. So like, you know what? Just get rid of this. Let's put a little mountain, mound of a mountain on the back side, and put some trees in there, so it still sits up tall, but we still got all the space to run like longer trains and things like that. So that's
There you
that's
go.
that's the main headache right now, trying to get that taken care of. But we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Just right now, it's just a lot of work that I have to do. It's craziness. And between me doing work, the kids going to work regularly, and trying to get onto layout, oh man, I need more sleep.
I'm pretty sure all of us do.
Yeah, seriously, especially right now, I feel it. But thank you for having me on. I know I've been literally trying to like make time to get on and all kind of stuff. And then last week we had the printer issue, well, 2 weeks ago, and that was a headache. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate it because now we were able to run a layout. A lot of guys wanted to see the layout. However, I wasn't able to get on because if the guys watch this live, which most likely they'll watch and then they'll exit and watch and exit, like this guy's running his trade like that. But I've always been into homemade style layouts, so I've never been into like overly professional. So my layouts, they run, and then sometimes they have their little kinks and faults. Mostly every layout has them, but mine's particularly has those small areas switch tracks, little joints where I cut the track and it wasn't even enough. And young me hates the older me now for doing, well, older me hates the young me now for doing that.
Hmm.
Because when I was younger and did that about 3 years ago, I'm kind of frustrated that I didn't take my time cutting those tracks right. So
Well,
now,
I learned this a long time ago, but sometimes you can learn a lot from your younger self, and
yeah,
sometimes your younger self can learn a lot from your older self.
true, it's true. And you're like, dang, you can't take one without the other. That's one I'm learning. So it's a fun journey. I'm going to be getting some new trains, but I'm debating, do I want to get the nickel plate and road set before I get the Burke set? That's the $2,000 Lionel set that they got. I love that set. Only thing is I haven't gotten around to getting it because, of course, I've been investing into the business. I've been getting much more fun, I would say, out of doing bar stools more so than just running my trains. So as everyone knows, it's been hard for me to explain how I went from just running the train videos to doing bar stools. Well, one reason is because the bar stools are actually more when they're not stressing me out, when it just everything goes smooth. It's a lot more relaxing. It's a lot more valuable to me, and I get a lot more people who appreciate the work. Whereas if I'm just running trains, I got to spend my hard-earned money, run the trains, and people like the videos and everything, and they love the work, but it doesn't benefit them as much as it, and it doesn't benefit me neither as much. As if I create something for them, they see it, they can have it and add it to their collection, just like how I used to do with the trees. So, that's my issue right now is balancing out layout master and layout master company with the bar stools and the layout. So, and we're really, really outdated. We got to start updating everything on the layout, getting lights on, billboards, people and cars, everything is just past due, and it's my fault because I kept running trains and buying trains and not actually putting money into the scenery, which is silly. I should have been doing that.
Hmm.
So that was my fault, really.
Well, like
And
the old saying goes, we don't ever really make mistakes in this hobby. We just have happy accidents.
yeah, that's true. I can definitely say that, especially for me. This been a constant happy accident of buying just trains and not putting too much into the scenery. One thing I did get that I really wanted a long time ago. I'll take this off of here since we're gonna come off of here anyway. I want to show the guys this. Hopefully, they don't bash me for my terrible train running session, but either way, it'll get better and better. This is one part that I really wanted here for a long time, and it's this tower here. I'm not sure if you can see that, if it's on it. Yep, this little tower. So I've always wanted this thing. I don't know why I never got one. I guess when I was younger, I really really wanted it, but I didn't have the money to just grab one. So I kept buying trains as again. That was my issue, and now I have it. So I'm gonna light that up and probably put some more little details around people and antenna lights. Probably do the flight simulation lights with the red beacons at the top, just like how this one had it. And that's getting repaired too, which is the NJ Transit house there. The issue was that some wire came off of this board. This was a long time ago, and I didn't even realize it. And I never got around to checking it. So it turns out that this thing worked the whole time, and I've just had it sitting on every layout, collecting dust, plaster, and everything else, and it never got a chance to see lights again. So yeah, that's where we're at. And as you can see, I've filled up all of these areas with the lichen, and I love it. It looks really nice. So when I put the trees in spring green and the medium green, they'll go nicely with this. And the water's supposed to be here, but my little kids, kept banging on this. This is made with foam, so they turned this into like a banging tray, and they
Really.
down on it so badly that you can see it's like limp, it's like lopsided, it's all banged up here. So I did all that work last summer, literally last summer. I did all this work, and all my kids did was just like mash this whole thing down. So it's kind of weak. So I'm gonna put a piece of wood under there since I got all these wood cutting machines now from doing the bar stools. Um, so funny thing is, wood cutting machines for the bar stools helps out make the layouts a lot better. So that's another thing that has been great. And before I go, I wanted to show you guys. I know a lot of people couldn't really see it much on the Instagram because I don't really show too much behind the scenes. This is the HO side, so don't excuse this whole part of the basement. It's not. I'm trying to work on it now, so the ceiling, everything needs to get redone. But this is the HO layout with the three rail. This is a concept that I've been wanting to do for about 3 years now. Really, it's been since a kid, but when I tried it as a kid, I thought it was hilariously funny, so I never really continued on with it because, of course, I didn't have the money to waste train tracks to make three rail. So I decided to just start now, and we are trying to find someone that can make me one of these baby ZWs, but a little bit bigger with a 3D printer, just for my layout, nothing for resale. And we're gonna make it a little bigger with the handles that work. Try to make the handles work and
Hmm.
put the lighting and stuff in. And if, of course, we get a derailment, this red light will come on, and the green light indicates power. And hopefully, we could just plug the NCE cab or whatever DCC system into the back of this part here, so we'll have a port there, or either underneath or in the front, however we want to do it, just so it looks more like of course that it will work together simultaneously with the layout. So we
Hmm.
want to make it usable for accessories and stuff and track power, but at the same time we don't want to do too much and then it becomes like an actual transformer. So who knows? One day we might be able to make this an actual transformer. Because Lionel, as you know, is making a lot of HO stuff now, and it seems like they're starting to get a little more detail from the last Berkshires that I saw in the catalog. So, what do you think about those Berkshires in the HO catalog?
I mean, to me personally, I have nothing against them, but the one thing I would really like to see Lionel to do at some point in the near future is to hopefully not just add more steamers, but hopefully some more diesels this time around.
Right.
Because
That
I
would
feel
be,
like that's the one thing that we're kind of lacking a little lately.
and especially the HO department of Lionel. I would say definitely HO department of Lionel is definitely lacking that. So yeah, I would agree fully on that one because if they did and they start doing a lot of detail work, that would be nice. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully, me making the concept, I can see if we could pitch something like that to Lionel and see if they will make a smaller ZW for the HO guys. Because I've always
Absolutely.
be so dope, like to have a mini ZW for the HO scale, because the other one is massive. Like I've ran the HO with that thing with the step down converter. You guys know I did that about 2 years, 3 years ago when I was doing the videos where I could run the HO with the ZW. But it was so much power, it's kind of unrealistic. So I said, you know what, I'll leave this alone because the start power on it, it makes the trains go pretty fast starting. So instead of it creeping, it will go like moving quick like that. So it wouldn't really give me a creepy crawl with HO.
Right.
However, it can do these, but a little bit bigger, like I'll say 3 times that size, about that much to the size of HO scale, of course, and you could just have these handles here. That'd be dope. I think that would be so cool, and then make it so much more realistic and reliable that it's able to run with the DCC systems, is able to run with just standard track power, 4 to 4. It can have a 4-way or a 2-way. Or I'll say a 4-way or 3-way. Either one is fine. One for accessories, and then two outers for just two outer tracks. Doesn't have to have the 4-way, but I think that would be just dope if they did do something like that. So that was my take.
Indeed. But that's pretty clever though. Like as soon as I saw that when you posted that video on your channel, I was kind of shocked. I was thinking to myself, holy smokes, is this legit?
Yeah, well, we're gonna be converting the because what the problem I noticed with HO is it does have a lot of glitches in the track power. Now, well, one thing I'm gonna get a lot of backlash for, and I think and hopefully a lot of guys do watch this live fully through because I know we had a very long live tonight. However, um, if a lot of guys think about it. the amount of wiring that will have to go through to get these trains to do a what they would call a return loop. So let's say I took this. This part of my basement is highly unfinished, so just forgive me. If I did a return loop of the track going around here, going around this way, and then connecting back into this part, it will, it'll short out because the DCC is a two,
Yes.
and it's frustrating. It's so annoying because if these little trains could do that, I feel as though without all the extra wiring and systems, because it costs a lot more. If they could do that without the blocks, the systems, I just think it would be more fun for the family to just set it up, all kinds of crazy loops, just like Lionel in the back in the days. Whereas HO, you got to be very mindful of how you set it up. Even though it's smaller, you have to be mindful of how you set it up and all kind of stuff. And it becomes frustrating because if it's too high on a grade, it's not going to run right. It slides down, this and then third. So with the third rail being there, if I can get these like Mark's, I believe it's Markland. They have these little pickups underneath. I'm thinking about creating micro rollers like old scale trains have. So I don't know how we're gonna figure that out. My brain works insane, so it might work. But we do a four pickup under each train, or at least three to four pickup under each train. A tender, steam engine, diesels, four pickups is possible. That'd be great.
Mhm.
And this way, when it goes over the points, they don't lose connection. But it will be custom track that you would need to do that because of course, if you do it like this, it will get stuck in these grooves here on the track. So it
There you
would have
go.
to be it would definitely have to be like a plastic connection here with smooth out between the track rails, and then that roller just glides nicely over it. So this one I also figured out that I could just cut a little slot into the rail and then keep the rail straight, and this will just slide underneath the rail nicely. So
Right.
I don't have to have it grooved there. I could just cut it over it, and it'll be like a loop over that little sliding part on a switch track. So, yep, that was pretty much it. But with the HO, this is what the new project is for right now. So my O scale will be under construction for a very long time because this is pretty much like the innovative project, which I really want to get done. Anything innovative, I'd rather work on that first. So I don't want to waste too much time just playing with trains. I want to see if this will work. We're also going to be. I know a lot of train HO companies already did smoke units. They already did them on the diesels. I forget Broadway Limited, and Cato or Cato, or however you say the name. They did the smoke units on the diesels. I'm going to be experimenting with a few HO diesels to do regular smoke units on those, like a GP30, GP40s, and what it will be is like a tube going up to the top to let out that smoke, but the generator will be on the side or underneath the board, but the tube will go past the board up to the stack. If any way, if it's possible, nice thin tube, send it up there. Hopefully it doesn't dilute the smoke push out. But we're gonna definitely try it, and it's gonna be like a custom thing we're doing just to see how HO diesels, all styles, high hoods, low hoods, RS1s, RS3s look with the smoke um, coming out the actual stacks that the factory put in them for the design of the locomotive, instead of it being like some weird looking protruding smoke unit on the engine and it just doesn't look right because it's not prototypical. So
So that
that's
way you keep the consistency, but also try to make it prototypical at the same
correct.
time.
Exactly. And that is a very tedious process, but it's gonna be super fun. Right now I just don't have the money to be experimenting like that. Cause like every dime I'm just like putting it in the bar stools and doing as much like investment in tools and stuff. So we got our new printer, we got our new heat press, we got our new what else? The what is it's the programs. We have the new graphic design programs and stuff we're using. A lot of learning on that. And once I get to that point of comfort with that, this will pick up even more. Once I figure out where the good sweet spot is for me with that part of the business, and then I can like take off with this. So I've been building this slowly but surely. I haven't been rushing it. And this is another thing I also wanted to get your opinion on. I've been also experimenting with the color of the middle rail. So I was thinking, what do you think about it being the black rail in the middle, like the old scale, or the silver rail?
I mean, I think black would be nice.
I think so too. I started looking at it and I was like, with the way the HO trains look, they're very, how to say it, they're very realistic. So if you do the black rail, it kind of looks like, it looks basically like a shrunk down Atlas track. It looks like Atlas old track. I forget what they call their old track. I forget what they call that stuff. Atlas, I guess it's Atlas old track. So yeah, that's the only thing. And then this is Atlas all Atlas Code 83, but I call this Code 83 rail, old Code 83 rail. So it's funny. It's got a little 83 at the end, but this is what we're gonna be doing. Putting the center
Well,
rail
there you
in.
go.
Yep, yep. So it's gonna be looking much better. I think the black does look good. Um, just considering it is the Atlas track and Atlas do put the black rail just like Gargraves. But Lionel, they are the only ones that do the gray track. So that's the only part that I'm like, yeah, this kind of looks like Lionel track, but it's not. It's Lionel doesn't have this brown ties. So that's the only part that I was confused on.
You know, I remember watching a video of an American flyer collector who actually made a kit by taking a middle section of rail and putting in the center of his two rail track to make it more look like realistic Lionel 3 rail.
Wow, and that stuff is really nice because it's S gauge. Yep, S gauge. So it makes it looks even nicer. But with American Flyer, it looks like it's Lionel anyway, which is kind of dope. I actually like that. So I wonder how that looked. I have to take a look at that and see how that looked. Do you have a link to that one?
Well, I don't really have a link, but if you want to go check out that video, make sure to check out Great Toy Train Layouts of America from TM Books and Video, which is on DVD that you can buy on Amazon.
Okay, I'll definitely want to check that out because that sounds pretty interesting. Yep, but that was pretty much it for the night. I've been just trying my hardest to get this stuff done, and just been like tired, like just extremely tired to the point where I'm going to sleep sometime. Well, when I was learning how to use the printer and stuff, 3 and 4 in the morning, graphic design, 3 and 4 in the morning, and then getting up around 7 to 8 o'clock, going straight to work. I was like, man. And the worst part is your body just starts to feel it. So I'm like, yeah, I got it. I got to
It
rest.
does. And even your brain starts to feel it
Yeah.
too. Like whenever you feel like you're loaded up on energy, your
Mhm.
mind quickly starts to like conk out after maybe at least 5, 10 to maybe around 15 minutes.
Yeah, it is crazy because that's what happened to me Monday night. My my front of my head started getting so tense. I said, "This is not good." It felt like how you get like a muscle spasm where it tenses up. Like
Yes.
you get in the pool and you get in the pool and you get that tension and you're like, "Oh, my leg just froze up in the middle of the pool." Like you get that Charlie, they call it Charlie horse. You get
Mhm.
that stuck, and that's how my head was starting to feel like the muscles in the front of my head started feeling like that. I was like, oh no, I got to get some rest. So I ended up coming straight home, just taking a nap. It still wasn't good. I'm still like healing from that restlessness. I said, that's not good. I've never felt like that, and man, I tell you, I've done all kinds of work. The trees. I worked on machinery. I still work on machinery, but even just staying up late at night, I've never felt like that. I said, man, it's something about looking at a computer all day and trying to learn how to do something that's stressful. It's not worth it. Which I will say is before I end this live with you, to anybody who doesn't want to rest and do not want to take a break because they gotta grind and get it and do this and that. Trust me, you're gonna want to get some rest. You're gonna want to take care of yourself, even if you gotta get a massage from your wife or your significant other. Have somebody rub your head or something, like, because when you staying up late like that, it was terrifying. I thought I was like I actually had an anxiety attack. One of these days. I think it was probably Tuesday or Wednesday. It was
Really?
terrible. I thought I was dying. I didn't know what was going on. Like I was like, wait, I need to drink some water, and it was hot. It was extremely hot outside. I was like, I must be having an anxiety attack or a panic attack, one or two. It was terrifying. Like my heart just started racing, and that's when I was like, yeah, I got to definitely get rest, and I just started to get rest and try to make it all work out. For my body, at least for my body, because I've been trying to take care of everyone with the bar stools. Everyone's been pretty much happy with their stuff, but for me, it's just been like, happy to see you guys happy, but my body's been like, you gotta chill out, man. We need you to stay good so that way you can keep doing it and building nice layouts and stuff. So yeah, just try to get more rest, especially nowadays with this heat. This heat is crazy. Gotta get rest and a lot of. That's what my body telling me, and my spirit is telling me to tell you guys definitely get some rest for
And
sure.
definitely drink a lot of fluids too.
Yes, if you could do that, a lot of what's the electrolytes, and I do the Delt style Pedialyte. That stuff works very well. If you have heart breathing issues or palpitations, you definitely could drink that, and it'll end it. If you're a smoker or anything, like smoke cigars or cigarettes, and you have breathing issues, Pedialyte helps a lot. Like old adult Pedialyte, they have that in CVS and Walgreens. I used to have heart issues growing up. Still get a little issues here and there when I don't take care of myself at the right times. But
Same.
as you get older, you start to know like, okay, this is what works, this is what don't work, and you just take care of yourself as much as you can, especially like I said in this heat because it's been crazy.
Absolutely.
But I appreciate the live. And did you have anything else to say?
Well, actually, before you go, there is probably I was
Hmm.
going to have two questions for you, but I'll just leave it to one.
Sure.
What can we expect to see from you from your channel for the next couple of weeks to probably the end of the year? I want to ask.
Okay, so right now we're practically just getting gearing up for we're getting now this is gonna sound crazy. I have to explain it simply but detail. The details on the bar stools have been only railroad name specific and side name badges on the side of the bar stools. However, we are still gonna do the side logos on those bar stools, but we're thinking about even doing watch your step ledgers on the frames, just like when you climb on the engine. We're thinking about doing the 600-volt danger signs, danger
Hmm.
over fire signs. Even we're even thinking about trying to get some artwork of actual trains on the stools, so that way, if it's not just a silhouette or anything like that, it's actually like if it's Lackawanna Railroad or with the MUs, we'll put the MU a photo or a silhouette of the MU on the bar stool, but we'll put danger overhead wire ahead or above or something like that, like what it says on the actual locomotives and stuff. And then if there was like Miss Phoebe Snow, we would put that on the bar stool as well, so that way it kind of gives it a nostalgic look. But since everything is custom, it will be more so geared towards that railroad and all of its heritage features and designs, or even advertisements to that time and era. So we can slap all that on a bar stool and make it even more valuable by having something so unique and significant. That's where we're headed right now in this month. On top of that, we are still like what I'm sitting next to right now. I'm only doing foundations, but I'm gonna keep posting videos, keep updating the guys about it, because I know it's gonna be one thing. I meant to say that I'm gonna be really hated for this doing the three rail HO in America, because a lot of guys love this two rail fantasy thing, so they don't like three rails. A lot of guys don't like three rail in O scale. So I can only imagine how people are going to feel about me doing it in America on HO scale, which I could care less because it's already called half O scale. So if it's half O scale, we're going to just shrink it down. And this is called the Shrink Project. So that way people can get an idea if, like, look, if Lionel's doing HO, I know that the three rail doesn't operate right now, technically, but there's pretty much no boundaries to getting the third rail to actually operate and the outer rail to operate and accommodate more track power to HO, where it's not stopping and getting stuck midway through a track or something, because now it has more power and more pickup power, which is even better. So that's where I'm at for this month of July. August, I'm not going to be at Greenberg. I gotta let the guys know I'm not going to be there, only because I really want to do York. It's going to take me a lot of time and effort to work towards York.
I was
So
going to ask, are you guys still planning to go to York this year?
definitely planning, because last this past York was amazing. Like I didn't even vent, and I was like, wow, I need to come here, because I was able to talk to all the manufacturer guys and like MTH, and they want to work with me. Quite a few people want to work with me, like hobby shops and stuff. But I I was just starting out, and I know for a fact I was not nowhere near where I'm at now when I talked to them. I was really just beginning to take it more and more serious, and I realized how fast the turnaround times are. So I was like, you know what, let's try to do the York for this year coming up in October. Once I get past that, I'm going to kind of take a little break, do some holiday releases, and the magazine comes in December. That was another thing I had not even spoke about, because it was a lot of work that went into it. We probably are at about 27 pages already. We still got a lot more to go. We want to feature everyone's layout, so we're not charging anyone. It's just going to be the first year free Layout Master magazine feature. So the only thing is, we'll give you a free feature, but we'll just ask like a $5 donation to buy it, just to cover the cost of um of the magazine prints. If people want them, let's say like 20 or 30 guys want them, that'll at least cover the cost of the majority of the prints. So most of it is really partially donation and basically giveaway, because the cost of the magazines it was not $5 to make them at all, because we go through a different company. But if we could find a good company, we'd probably get them much cheaper to make those. But they probably want 50 to 100 pieces. Who knows how many? But other than that, yep, we're gonna have this month is working on getting the dark bar stools a lot more detailed to locomotives. Next month is kind of like building up to, no, it's next month in September, building up to York. So you guys are just gonna see new releases. But if you guys don't see me selling anything to nobody, don't be afraid. We're waiting up until like October really, so that way we have product and inventory. If I keep selling everything, I won't have nothing to bring to York with me, and I will be burnt out trying to recoup everything. So that's where I'm at right now. You know, it's working. It's working much better than the trees. A lot more people need bar stools more than they need trees. I hated the fact that I had to stop doing the trees, but Scenic Express, well, of course, I already told everybody where I got my materials from at that time. They said no more hobby shops. They're only going to sell
You're
to the
kidding.
Yep, they only selling to the public, and if they sell to the hobby shops, it won't be the trees. It will only be like grass and ballast and stuff like that. Stuff that people really could get from Woodland Scenics or something. They said no, so I'm pretty much stuck right now with, yeah, with with just doing bar stools. But the good thing is, I am gonna have a surprise experiment. That's another thing. We're doing the duffel bags. The C&J duffel bags are coming out probably be the end of this month. Those are handmade by me. Once I get the sewing machine up and running again, that is going to be a very valuable piece. So you won't see a lot of those, because, like I said, I got to focus on bar stools, so I'm not trying to be all over the place. But when
Hmm.
we do those bag releases, they are going to come out really nice. So that's the good part. Yep,
Awesome.
yep. Thank you, man. So I can't wait. It's going to be valuable. I'm not gonna lie. So it's just waiting and seeing what people say. That's the part. I'm just waiting myself. Like I'm anticipating it, but I'm like, man, how this is gonna come out, what people gonna say, how you gonna feel about it. So we just gotta wait and see what happens.
Well, just remember, just if you guys ever do get any like small feedback from your customers, always always remember, you know, sometimes you learn a lot more from failure than you do from succeeding, because
True,
failure, it's okay to mess up every once in a while,
true.
because that's how you perfect your product, by going back to the drawing board and figuring out what exactly worked and what didn't work.
It's true. That's exactly what we saw with the trees, and I saw that even printing, because like I said, the guy at the shop, he taught me for months how to print. And man, they got tired of running up there over and over again. So now we are still going to him for knowledge and learning and teaching, but these thousands and thousands of dollar printers, we finally made the investment. So soon we'll be doing it in house, which is a lot more nicer because the quality is just, I can make the quality way better because it's to my liking. It's not done to somebody else's liking. I don't have to use anybody else's materials. I can use my own stuff. So everything else, it just works for the best. And time is very important. Like you said, with the amount of mistakes I've made since last week, practicing over and over again, that's one reason why I got so tired. Like I just was up every night just trying, and getting lessons on how to use it, and it's just been craziness. So now that I'm getting better at it, now I'm figuring out how it works and what don't work. I'm still at a crossroads with it because I have to still tweak it, and it's crazy. It's just madness. It's just like you're going from being a master at sewing to now mastering sewing, uh,
Oh yeah.
graphics, printing, heat pressing, what else? Making clothes. Clothes I've already done since I was a kid, and bags. Bags I did since I was young. Did bags for about 10 years, and but now it's just upholstery, bar stools, print customs, and printing, a graphic design, which is another part. And man, it's been a massive, tiring nightmare of just trying to figure this stuff out. And I've been having to do all this on my own. Nobody knows how to do it. Nobody can help, and I'm just tired. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. But I'm happy. I love it.
Awesome. Well, make sure to like I said, make sure to keep us in the loop, and we're really excited to see really excited to see what you come up with next, Chaz.
Definitely will. And thank you again for having me on. Next time I will be a lot more prepared and I won't talk as much because I did have a lot to say because I haven't said anything lately. I haven't even been on my Instagram to talk, so I haven't been able to say anything to anybody about what's going on and why everything is just like why they haven't seen any new releases and stuff. So I'm grateful I was able to talk about that here, and hopefully I didn't bore anybody out with my train running operations and this overview of what I'm going to be doing and what's going on here with the HO. So it's going to be fun, but it just has to come out with time so that way I don't burn myself out and that way people can see what's going on, cuz like I'm grateful I had this opportunity to tell you what we're doing with this and what's going on with the old scale layout and why everything is so fast, rapidly paced with the bar stools and why this is so slow. So much has been happening besides the trains lately. So it's a good thing, and it's also been a bad thing with the slowing of my hobbies. So that's the only
Nothing
part.
to worry about.
True,
Remember, everybody's got to start somewhere.
true, so true. But it's gonna work out. It's gonna even out. I can't wait. So,
Absolutely.
but you have a good night. I'm sorry I held you up talking like crazy,
No
and
worries.
I gotta get to the kids. It's getting late, so I gotta take care of them before she goes out to the store right quick and grab some stuff.
And I got to go walk my dog too, so I got to run as well.
All right. Sorry about that. All
No
right.
worries.
You have a good night. And thank you
You too.
again for being on. And see you guys later. All right.
Likewise.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, that's our show. I really hope that you all have enjoyed watching, and we all hope to see you all next time. You all have a good night, and we'll catch you all on the flip side. Take care.